All right, so the home sales beat estimates. No housing crash in sight, which is kind of what Jason was alluding to there. This article comes to us from Housing Wire, written by one of our favorite economists, Logan Marashami. Which is funny that we would have a favorite economist, but he's actually been on the show a couple of times. So.
When I was a kid, I never thought to myself, you know what? I hope when I get older, I have a favorite economist. And I do. Like,
we're such nerds.
And he's one of my, he's one of my favorite people because. Well, you'll see when Ray gets into the article. But this is Housing Wire Plus, so we need to remember that.
Yeah,
go
this
there.
Is Housing Wire Plus.
Wire.
We're going to share some of it. We want you to go there. We want you to pay Logan, see the rest of it. All right. So the National Association of Realtors reported that 5.99 million home sales for July. Excellent beat of estimates as the dagger of the hearts and a dagger in the hearts of the 2021 housing crash crew. I love these alliteration names he gives them. Mother demographics and low mortgage rates. Two things that have been transparent to human beings for a long time are powerful economic forces. Both together have made it difficult for an epic housing crash in sales to happen, especially when the years 2008 and 2019 or 2008 to 2019 had the weakest housing recovery ever. What are some of the highlights? This is a really long article, but what are some of the highlights that you want to bring out? We talked about the increase in, let's see, the median existing home price. We talked about that being up 17.8%. There's some good charts, producer Matt, that you want to, if you want to put that on there. The Mortgage Bankers Association Purchase Application Index and shows the number of applications to purchase properties. And you could see the line going straight up there in 2000 to 2007. And then you could see it now not going up quite as rapidly. And it might be that the supply or the lack of supply is kind of tampering those applications. Yeah. And the lack of supply itself is helping the recovery to be strong, but not too much is what it seems like.
So I pulled, by the way, this is in Logan puts a lot of info in his and it blows my mind because he does at least one or two of these a week and there's always great intel and he uses numbers to state his point. But I've been noticing that he's been throwing more and more shade. He gets a little more aggressive with every article. And I shared this one.
Proven right. He definitely lets the other side know.
Yeah. And this one, there's no qualms about it. He's straight up. So he says, this is Logan speaking. I suggest after 10 years of being wrong on the housing crash, call, and now needing an 86% home price crash to just get back to 2012 levels, my best advice is to get some therapy for housing bubble boy 2.0 sickness. You still have time. Life is worth living free from this disease. So good. So he's not hinting anymore. He's just straight up saying, stop it. And then he goes on to say, beware, like looking ahead, this is going to be a key talking point for housing data that needs some context. The key, we are about to enter the months where home sales data will be at a negative year over year. Many trolling Twitter accounts and terrible YouTube crash sites will not present the data with the context that the comps from last year are Rona related to making up the demand and to ignore it. So he's literally predicting what's going to happen. They're going to take these numbers and go, see, I told you. So ignore it, or at least do your own research, or go get Housing Wire Plus and follow Logan,
or just join us on Clubhouse. Which I'm about to come to some of the Clubhouse comments because I kind of want to hear what's going on with you guys if you think that is happening. I want to get producer Matt. I'm sending you several different directions. If you could show the maroon and pink graph, the Realtors Confidence Index. I thought this was interesting too, just to see the days on market and distressed sales. And
there it is, maroon and pink.
Yeah. So you can see it's 30. Let's see. First-time home buyers accounted for 30% of sales in July. Individual investors purchased 15% of homes. All cash sales, this is what you were talking about, Dan, they accounted for 23% of transactions. Distressed sales represented less than 1% of sales, and properties typically remained on the market for 17 days in July.
Yeah. Are you seeing any distressed properties? And for the lay people, distressed properties are foreclosures, short sales and stuff. I'm rarely seeing them.
I've shown my first two in the last week, 2 weeks. So I have a client of mine that is he's an investor, but he's also looking for a personal home. So he's attracted to those like large foreclosures and stuff like that. So we're going to one this afternoon. That's a foreclosure, and it's got appointments all day on it. So it's we're going to see what happens. The computer automated valuation put it at like 530,000 or something, which puts it in the luxury market, and the price is just ridiculously off of that. So I don't know where it's going to hit, but we'll see what happens. All right, so there's plenty more to read from Logan, but I thought that was a neat stat. I want to go to Clubhouse and hear what you guys have to say. We just talked about two different articles. If you're just joining us, we talked about the home sales rose for the second straight month in July as demand outpaced a slightly stronger supply. Lawrence Yun does say that the market seems to be stabilizing. Logan Matashami says not only is it stabilizing, it's continuing to go up, and he sees no end in sight for the recovery. But what say you? Cindy, I saw you flashing your mic, especially when Dan was talking about those cash deals. What's happening in your world?
Hi, everyone. Cindy Ariona here in Salt Lake City, Park City Markets of Utah, also known as the Silicon Slopes. We are seeing 36% cash buyers in the Park City market, which our median sales price is $2.5 million.
Wow.
It has predominantly began, as a second home resort. It's a ski resort, Park City Ski Resort Market. But this last year has changed that. We've had such an influx from both coasts of, with the working at home. So it's not so much a second home market anymore. Well, it hasn't been over the past 3 to 4 years. It's been growing from that. But the cash buyers have all of our heads spinning. Salt Lake down on the other side of the mountain, more of the business center.
Sorry,
in the mid-20s%, so about the same as what was stated there on the cash buyers. We are also having a few different lenders that are providing options for our buyers who are taking loans to write the offer as cash. And so that's putting a new hope into a lot of buyers who've just been so beat up. And as for the distressed properties, boy, it's like needles in a haystack here. This is Cindy, hashtag Cindy Sells Salt Lake.
Yeah, I was in Park City at the beginning of, was that this year? We went skiing. I can't remember if it was this year or last year, honestly. I think maybe it was last year. I don't know. I'm getting my months mixed up. Anyway, I learned to snowboard a little bit. But while we were there, it was slated to have record snow, and it just held off. And so it was like not great snow. And then the week after we left, it was like incredible snow, and the whole place was beautiful. So it's definitely a place that we considered getting like maybe we should do a Picasa house there, just on a percentage of a house. But it's definitely a place we considered buying, Cindy. So that's a beautiful area. So I want to hear from other people too that are up on stage, kind of what you guys are seeing. I know Melanie, you're here, Andy. Brandon, what are you guys seeing as far as the makeup of your buyers? Are you seeing more first-time home buyers starting to enter the market? I am seeing that. I'm seeing more first-time home buyers able to get an FHA offer accepted, which previously we weren't. And we do some pretty creative things, but they were just getting beat out. If it's the same price, you have a conventional, people are choosing that conventional, so the appraisal didn't stick with that property for longer. We are seeing more cash deals come through. We have several people moving from California. As you know, Dan, there's a great exodus there.
It's a mass exodus from Southern California.
But the funny part about what they're buying is that they're not getting a loan. I'll ask them if they're pre-approved, and they're like, oh, no. We're just going to use part of the equity that we get from the sale of our house in California, and we're going to buy a castle in Arkansas.
Right. I'm selling a 1,200 square foot home in LA for, $1.8 million, and I'm going to go spend $1 million of that
and get up. Well, no, they don't. They could spend 500,000 of that and be in the luxury market in Arkansas with a, 4,000
10 acres.
Yeah. So Melanie, do you want to chime in? Kelly, what are you guys seeing? Flash your mic if you do. If not, okay. Melanie's here. What's up, Melanie? How are you?
Hi, Melanie.
I'm
Hey.
good. Southwest Michigan is an interesting market right now because we're definitely seeing FHAs being accepted, and we're also even getting contingency properties at the same time. So people are able to sell their property, have it contingent on purchasing the next property, which was not happening,
Wow.
9 months ago. In the second home market for us, which is, I see.
Oh, what'd you say in the second home market for you? What? It kind of cut out a little bit.
Oh, no, I suddenly saw you guys pointing to the mitten, and it was confusing me.
No, yeah, sorry.
In the second home market, we're not seeing as much
My
cash
bad.
flow. People still see that the interest rates are really, really cheap, and they're not willing to spend their cash. They would prefer instead to be able to put their money into, buying property, but not having to spend it all themselves because they can make a better return in like vacation rentals.
I mean, if only there was a company that was helping you out with second homes. Huh.
If only there was a company that could do that. Well, that's cool, Melanie. Thanks
Little teaser.
for yeah. And we were pointing to the mitten as you said. It's a little bit of delay on the video versus the audio, but we were pointing so that everyone that was listening or watching us live knew exactly where you were in Michigan. So there you go. I know it sounds like she's down under, but she's not.
She's in, and she always broke it down. And it was on the show, or we had her on live, and she said it. I've never paid attention to what
I didn't even know it was a mitten. But
looks like. It looks like a mitten, and then there you go,
right there.
Yeah.
So, thanks for joining us on Clubhouse, Melanie.